junior year when the medical initiative was kicking off. There were nights scrolling different grant opportunities, and then a lot of listening and seeing and learning and trying to understand from the place that we were at how we could put together a project that was sustainable and conscientious and responsive to the needs of the community that it was serving. And it was such an honor to see that idea grow over years into a building and a staff, and hopefully into positive effects on the health of the community.
I was involved in the Vassar Haiti Project during my 4 years at Vassar. During my last year, I was co-president when the clinic in Chermet had just been built, and the first few clinic days had been a success. That same year, we started the Medical Advisory Board and the Medical Initiative. It was an amazing process being able to work with our partners in Chermet to shape how the clinic would be sustainable in the long run. Being able to think about setting up clinic operations in Chermet helped me be able to view medicine from a systems perspective. I continue to adapt these same principles in my quality improvement projects in my own clinic and hospital.
So I was at Vassar from 2011 until 2015. And the health initiative underwent a lot of really exciting changes throughout my time there. I went to Haiti 3 times, the first as a freshman. And at that point, we just had a temporary clinic building that was actually functioning in the church. So we were moving in and out supplies and people for sort of these one-day health events. When I returned to Haiti the second time, this was as the director of the medical initiative, and it was a smaller group. And by that time, we had a clinic building, and we were kind of stocking the building and still having temporary clinics, but moving in the direction of something more regular. By the time I was a senior, I was one of the presidents of VHP, and I went to Haiti in the spring of 2015. And at that point, the clinic was completely established. So we were having regular clinic days with a doctor and a nurse, and able to provide medication to patients across the area. Those repeated trips to Haiti and seeing this project grow from something so small to something so impactful is what really motivated me to pursue this career.
I still remember my first trip to our clinic in 2014, seeing the long line of patients early morning, observing Dr. Gasline care for each of them, and helping out in the pharmacy wherever I could. But it wasn't until I returned from Haiti that I realized how much work had gone into making that one day possible, and how it was in large part due to our medical advisory board members who provided us with the medical literacy we needed, advised us on where to find affordable medications. And in my remaining VHP years, I had the chance to work with them much more closely, learn from them, but also observe how they balance full-time careers as physicians while also volunteering, mentoring students like myself, and working with them was truly one of my most memorable VHP experiences.
As a member of the Health Initiative, we would regularly work on exciting projects. One of those projects was the construction of the solar-powered lab. That stemmed from the trip that I took to Haiti in 2017, where I saw how patients would be referred to the closest hospital, which was a couple of hours away, in order to get necessary diagnostic testing done. But they more often than not wouldn't be able to get that testing done, either due to the cost of travel or having to organize transportation in the first place. So in conversation with the clinic staff, they told me how they were interested in having lab equipment at the site of the clinic in order to ease that barrier. But the clinic also didn't have electricity. So VHP from there started the process of fundraising for the solar-powered lab, which has now completed construction at the site of the clinic and is in the process of being equipped.
VHP for me gave me the tools to understand how medicine can be used to build communities and build partnerships. It allowed me to surround myself with friends and mentors who challenged me to think critically when it came to international development. And VHP gave us the opportunity on a small scale to learn about how international development works and the challenges with building healthcare systems. So that was where my perspective, my worldview came from, that I carried with me through my medical training, and that has shaped how I practice medicine now.
Looking back at my time at VHP, we were building on many key important life skills, including written and spoken communication, working well together as a team, public speaking, and being able to strike up a conversation with a complete stranger about Haitian art and the VHP initiatives. Lila and Andrew have instilled in VHP and its members that there is no greater privilege than being able to build and be a part of something bigger than yourself. That continues to inspire me each and every day.
I think one of the biggest things that I have taken away from my time at VHP is how to be a really good leader. I learned all these incredible interpersonal skills of how to communicate with others, how to work in teams, how to, set goals and see them through to completion. When I think about my time at VHP, I really think of the alums and the leadership, particularly Lila and Andrew, who gave me incredible mentorship to figure out my sense of self, to figure out what was important to me and what I wanted to accomplish in this world. And as I've chosen these different sort of phases of my life, I have particularly sought out places where there is that sense of community and emphasis on mentorship. And I am so grateful that that has been such a cornerstone of my career. I am hopeful that one day I'm going to be able to be the kind of role model to these medical students and these residents and the patients that I serve that so many of the members of VHP were to me when I was earlier in my career.
The journey to becoming a physician is long, and medicine can feel heavy at times. And in studying for what felt like countless hours or in what feels like really long days in residency, I know in challenging moments I've taken pause and wondered, why am I here? But my calling always comes from VHP, thinking back to those patient experiences in Haiti, aspiring to become more like the physicians I worked with. And those experiences have given me a deep sense of purpose that I know I'll carry with me for the rest of my career.
I'm really appreciative of VHP because it laid a foundation early on in my medical education of the various factors that come into play and result in a patient's health and healthcare outcomes. Since I've started to see patients in the US, I've seen how often patients aren't able to get the recommended testing done, either due to issues of cost or transportation. And these are barriers to care that we learn about in medical school, but my visualization of what these barriers are really started from my experience volunteering at the medical clinic in Fierville in Haiti. VHP also gave me a really good global perspective on healthcare, as I've come to understand how healthcare barriers transcend borders, and instilled the importance of cultural competency in medicine, which I've been building on since then. This has all successfully translated itself into a openness to hearing about my patients' lived experiences and a desire to really try to meet them where they are and hopefully have a better degree of success in diagnosing and treating them.
Barre soleil la cap baigné, yon carnaval couleur mélangé. Moi dis merci pour de grandes gemmes, pour kem qui nan mi tan comme qui va jam mon cœur aimé. Merci pour même qui caressé, tout mon l'amour mené